On 7th November 2018, 17 academic and scientific experts participated in a consensus workshop in London with the aim to identify the reliable facts on low no-calorie sweeteners, suggest knowledge gaps, and propose future actions related to research and nutrition policy. The outcome of this workshop has been published in a scientific paper in the peer-reviewed journal Nutrition Research Reviews.
The consensus group that consisted of 17 experts reached their conclusions, and I think they can boil down to three things. First of all, low-calorie sweeteners are safe. Secondly, low-calorie sweeteners work. In other words, they can reduce the sugar intake of the diet. And thirdly, they have the potential to help with issues in public health, such as obesity and diabetes. One of the things we tried to get the experts to sort of pull out of their discussion was what are the research gaps. And again, I think that boils down to three things. We need more longer-term studies to look at efficacy. We need much better public health communication to get over this misperception of consumers. And thirdly, we need joined-up thinking between the scientists and the policymakers, and between the policymakers across the world. If I had to pick out one thing of the take-home message, I think it is this problem of consumer perception. I think low-calorie sweeteners must be the only food ingredients where there is such a history of safety, and yet so many consumers still do not get this very clear message and do not use them. So trying to change this consumer perception is a real mission, I think. One of the things in writing up the outcomes of our consensus workshop for a peer-reviewed journal, we've done a comparison of other outcomes from other consensus workshops and position statements with ours. And I think I can say that we agree with others very much on the safety issue, where we're all agreeing that low-calorie sweeteners are safe. On the question of efficacy, our conclusions are a little bit different, and our experts reckon that that was because we were looking at some of the studies differently to those in the systematic reviews, which had reached different conclusions. But on the comparison with the position statements, with those done by nutritionists and dietitians, again, we were in complete agreement that we all put into our statements that low-calorie sweeteners can play a role in helping people reduce sugar intake within the confines of a well-balanced diet. I think it's always important to have expert consensus groups to look at the evidence every so often to draw things together. Our group has produced important results because it was not only looking back, but there was a lot of looking forward to what the research gaps and the actions needed were. The other thing was that we had experts across the whole expertise of people looking at low-calorie sweeteners, and I think this contributed to the conclusions. And thirdly, the conclusions and the actions were geared not just to research scientists and funders, but to health professionals and to the food industry and to policymakers.